We interrupt this episode before it even starts because we've got this crazy breaking news that happened like as we were about to release this episode. So we have to talk about it. Bob Iger is now the CEO again. Bob Chapek is out just like that.
And this is not an April Fool's joke because it's not April Fool's.
Yeah,
And
this is November. We had to like
yeah,
pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. Like, is this real? What happened? Jim Cramer, I guess, is the hero in all this. Like, what
like I was
happened?
saying, you guys just thought that was not really a big deal.
Correct.
That
Apparently.
yeah,
So, am I the only one though that my initial reaction was, okay, this is good news, but it's not necessarily great news because Iger coming back is not necessarily the solution to all the problems that we've had recently with all the negativity and all this. It's not like prices are going to immediately drop and, discounts are going to show up and the park reservation is going to go away.
not likely. No. See,
Right.
what it is now that the damage is done, he can come in and look like a hero
Right.
by changing absolutely nothing price wise, but
Right.
making other steps going forward. But
Right.
yeah.
Just that feeling of Chapek being gone is enough to get through the next like 6 months without changing anything.
Well, a lot of people are probably optimistic, but
Yeah.
like, what am I trying to say? Maybe celebrating a little too soon or
Yeah.
whatever. What's the word? I can't really find. For some reason, the word is escaping me. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not like jumping up and down like most people. I'm like, okay, this is better than 3 more years or 2 more years of Chapek.
but
But
will it be?
I mean, it's better, I
You're like, it
think.
has to be.
Right. I mean, the road we were going down is just like so like demoralizing. The cast members you can tell are demoralized. A lot of the regular guests like us are. Maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel for some of those issues that we've complained about the most. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, is Iger, prices were kept going up over him too. I mean, it's not like I would he have done the Genie Plus thing? I don't know.
I think what we're probably going to see, something that
Yeah.
could take place more immediately, is the feeling like you're boxed in to have to do reserve this, reserve that, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. I feel like that's probably going to loosen a tad. That's something he could do. Would be
Yeah.
a good, like a goodwill gesture to
Right.
like just something simple like, okay, annual passes are going on sale now. I mean,
Right.
like tomorrow,
Anything.
something like that he could do, and it not
Yeah.
really affect the overall,
Right.
money making part of it.
Yeah. Or like, hey, let's do away with the variable pricing on Genie Plus. Let's just keep it a flat 15 again. We're not gonna money grab you on that. Stuff like that. He could do little things
Just
like
looking at
that.
some of the reactions, the
Yeah.
WDW Today podcast, I saw them do a tweet that says, "So no more Genie Plus and park reservations, and all is forgiven, right? Any
Yeah.
other demands we must make?"
Right. Well, I guess now's our time to try and make the demands, right?
Right.
Maybe he'll pull an Elon and do like a Twitter poll for like park reservations, yes or no.
Yeah. Just getting live
Just
reactions on
kidding.
this stuff, though, because we're literally just fitting this in as it happened.
Right. I mean, this is minutes. I was recording this particular thing minutes after it happened.
I see one that says that heard that Bob Chapek misbehaving at IAPA was the final straw. I don't know. I did. Did I? Is there something we're missing there about what he did at
Yeah,
IAPA?
I don't know. There must be a story there. But
Yeah.
we figured it was after this Q4 earnings call and how, the company has not been doing as well as he was trying to shape it out to be and the stock price dropping and things like that. I thought that would be more or less what it was, but who knows? There might be something else he said.
Well,
Did
again,
Is that where he said about listening? We should listen to the fans. is,
right.
that, is that what he said?
Well, as we had, in the story we did last week, right, with Jim Cramer, his comments were, it's not even, it has nothing to do with the performance at all. It's just the way he handled the
We
whole earnings call.
Right, the way he handled
He
it.
didn't
Yeah,
sound like a leader at all.
it's not what you said; it's
So,
how you said it.
yeah, right. He's like, he didn't sound like a leader at all, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
So, I
All
mean,
you guys out there, you can thank Jim Cramer because apparently he holds more clout than we gave him credit
I
for.
guess, well, certainly me, I didn't think so. I was like, I thought this guy
Uh,
was, yeah, old news. You were reading I forgot what report you were reading, but you mentioned
well, I think it
seeing
was one
2
of the
years?
first ones that came out. It was Deadline.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at.
And it said, what, a 2 year? It would basically, he's going to finish out Chapek's contract
So
that he had just renewed.
I'm going to read directly from this. So just so you know, this is from deadline.com. And it says the board just sent out a notice that Bob Iger is back and recently re-upped Bob Chapek is out, handing over the baton as CEO in February 2020 to Chapek and serving
Yeah.
as executive chairman until the end of 2021. Iger will serve as CEO for the second time for the next 2 years, the company says.
Okay.
And previously, Iger was top dog at the House of Mouse from 2005 to for 15 years. So
I wonder, he obviously did want to retire. So 2 more years at this. Does this mean that tomorrow is the obvious heir apparent now that Chapek's out? Is this going to be a clear tomorrow takes over in 2025 or 2026, whatever it might be?
I don't know.
I mean, I think a lot of fans would want to see that.
Yeah, maybe. If it's about, I mean, but then you're making it about a popularity contest, not about who can actually lead. So,
Yeah, good point. Because we don't know. Tomorrow is what the fans would want, but we don't know
yeah,
how we would actually do because a lot of this stuff has happened under his watch as well.
right.
Although we assume it's Chapek mostly calling the shots.
I'm still going to say for the time being, I'm in the camp of 2 years from now, an outsider needs to come back. That's the camp I'm currently in. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just reading the tweets. Like, people are going crazy right now. Yeah, just looking at
Oh,
the
yeah.
reactions. Did you see Craig Williams from the Diz? His like new profile pic. Apparently, it's him with a JPEG.
Yeah, I think
Like,
at the time, though, I
it's
think he
funny.
was serious with that one. I could be wrong. I think he was serious with that one to start with. I think that might have been, wasn't that just before this dropped?
It may have
What's the
been
time frame? Or maybe he's just clever. Maybe he's just being clever.
really funny. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about it, but
Yeah.
at this point, it's like I say, good news, not great news, but I think this is better than 2 more years of Chapek, honestly, right? I mean, it's got to be better than that.
It should be interesting because I think if you're going to eh, I just think this announcement itself, like come tomorrow morning when the bell rings,
Yeah, well,
you're just like Disney stock's gonna
oh
skyrocket.
man,
Like
you should
buy
have
as
bought
soon as
them,
you possibly can, right?
right? Buy them like
Because it's gonna
immediately.
skyrocket at this announcement just because of what they know how it performed under
Yeah,
him. Even though realistically expecting the returns to be that good immediately is probably unrealistic, but yeah, it's going to skyrocket tomorrow because
yeah.
that's the way markets do whenever these things happen. So,
Can you see
it,
the futures if it's?
no, I have not taken a look.
I was just curious. Yeah,
I was just
it's
looking at where it ended. It was already trending up just a tad.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You probably can't tell this at the time we're recording this. You probably can't tell, but I'm sure
I think
as
as
you're
soon as
hearing
the
this,
bell rings tomorrow, you're going to see a pretty significant jump.
yeah, it's gonna jump.
That's my prediction.
Oh, it'll definitely jump. There's no doubt it's gonna have a big jump because of
Eh,
this.
And if I had seen this coming, apparently this came out of nowhere. Because if I had seen this coming, I would have definitely put some money on that
I
Friday.
know, right? If I had caught wind of this,
Yeah,
I would have bought as much as I could have, and then
yeah.
sold it right away. No, no, but this is I'm trying to not get too excited about this, like you said as well. It's like I think we're kind of more like middle of the road here. We're not gonna. There's no reason to be like elated here, but this is good. This is a good decision. I think everybody knew Chapek was not a fan favorite and was not doing well by the fans for sure.
So, too, going along with that story, though, Susan Arnold today, after what was a rougher than expected, apparently last quarter, for what they said,
Yeah,
which is interesting because as far as long as the stock price and as long as they were making money, they were like okay with whatever it was he was doing, right?
right.
Then all of a sudden, you get one quarter
Yeah, I mean,
One quarter that was rougher than expected, and all of a
he's
sudden we need to make a change.
right. He's like a college football coach or something,
Just
or
about.
yeah. It's like
Well,
we're
what
out.
I don't. I think what it is they heard the other stuff that people were saying, but they were like, until it affects the bottom line, we're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And so it eventually. So this was their excuse, right? It affected the bottom line. So they're like, yeah,
Right.
let's change things.
And it's like,
So
oh well, the fans seem to hate him. Like, where did this come from? I guess we'll do what the fans want. Like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, no, they're not going to do.
Yeah,
They're
right.
never going to make decisions based solely
That
on the
was
fans.
secondary, but they're gonna
Yeah.
obviously milk that. Like, yeah, we really listen to our community and we want to do what's right by our fans. Yeah, right.
But again, I would expect subtle, small changes that are going to
Yeah,
make people happy. Like I said, something he
I
could do
hope so.
immediately.
Yeah,
Like say tomorrow, annual passes announced are going back on sale.
right.
Or
Yeah.
or he could even say because they just announced the hike, he could even say they're going back on sale for the same price for right now,
Yeah.
and that would be throwing the fans base enough of a bone.
Yeah.
He could establish a set price for Genie Plus, and that would
Hmm.
be throwing them a bone.
Right. Rolling
Um,
back some of the
right.
Chapek changes that have done recently. Yeah, that would be
But
huge.
here's the thing.
People would love that.
If you guys are expecting, if any of you out there listening to this are expecting
A
the
major
Genie
shift
Plus box, the
to go
Pandora's
away.
box that is Genie's Plus to roll all the way back to free,
No.
you're not very realistic
Yeah,
because
that's not
free
happening.
is out the window now.
Yeah.
It is never going to be free again.
And enough,
So,
yeah, they're definitely not going to give that revenue away, of course. But they
no.
might scale it back a little, which would be nice. I would love that, especially since I'm going in a few days.
I think they might. Well, I don't think you're going to get anything that quick. I think they
No.
might look at retooling it a little bit.
Be
Heck,
nice if they
maybe
do that.
even if they retooled it in the sense that it was more like FastPass Plus, but with a price,
Yeah.
people would be happy with that.
Or
think.
yeah, or retool it to make it a little bit better. You could pick 3 at the beginning or something. I don't know. Anything that would improve the guest experience, yeah, would be
Right.
make people extremely happy. But
I
we'll
think.
see.
See, there's something. I was just looking at this the other day. It's like stuff. There's something that just doesn't add up. Like, okay, you have park reservations that are supposedly, keeping the what am I trying to say? The number of people that are in the parks in check. Like you can keep as many in there or whatever level you want it to be based on this, right? And yet somehow,
Yeah.
the weights are higher than
Yeah.
they normally would have been.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that when you have included Genie Plus, was getting about roughly they announced like roughly 50% usage or whatever. Okay,
Yeah, something
if
like
it's
that.
getting 50% of its capacity and the wait times are up, something's not adding up to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the same as FastPass was. Yeah, I don't know. We'll obviously dive way more into this in the following weeks as this sort of unfolds more. But we had to put something in here
Right, and
to button this up.
there is one more thing that I can think of, right? Where as an initial reaction to what Bob Iger will bring to the table is one thing he's proven in the past is someone who will listen.
To the fans,
the people. Well, not to the fans, to the
Well,
people that's working for him.
He's reasonable. I think
You never got that impression so much from Chapek.
Yeah.
It wasn't the people that were down there with the boots on the ground.
Right.
They didn't feel like their voice was being heard.
Right.
Back whenever Iger was in charge, you kind of got the sense that they felt like their voice was being heard to a degree. I mean,
yeah.
You're never going to have it just get everything you want.
Right.
But at least you felt like your voice was being heard. And I feel like that's one thing that's going to change.
Yeah. He also
more
seems
immediate.
Approachable, reasonable, right, and likable. Has a little bit of a personality.
Look, he's had a reputation in the past and in a couple of different situations, even when he was on that board out in California or whatever it was. If things are breaking down to where it looks like there's nothing he's going to be able to accomplish, he just walks away. It's actually a very effective negotiating tactic, though.
All right.
So I like some of the things he brings as far as how he does it. But again, we'll
see.
He was never, I mean, as much as people would like to think or admit it to, he was never innocent in the stuff that happened before. His hands were not clean.
Right. And that giant acquisition right before he left was also kind of a mess. So we'll see how that pans out too. But
Maybe the fact that they acquired this half like made cruise line was technically one of his things, one of his doings, and then now he's
we'll
announced to
see.
be back.
Yeah, who knows? All right.
Anyway,
Well, let's go back to the episode that has already been
as it was originally
recorded.
recorded, back
But
to your regularly scheduled programming.
obviously, yes, we'll have more on this in the future. But for now, we already recorded this, so enjoy it. Today, we talk about what we're thankful for, and we're also going to do some news and rumors and maybe a little talk about Andor. That's coming up next on Traveling with the Mouse. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 383 of Traveling with the Mouse. My name is Adam, and I am joined today by John.
See what a little wishing can do?
Wow. Is that John or is that Jiminy?
Oh, was it that good that time?
Yeah, it actually was.
I was trying to get in touch with Jiminy.
Can you do the whole show that way? It'll be me and Jiminy.
I don't know. That'd be tough to do.
Yeah. You'd ruin your voice by the end of the day.
I would really have a little bit of trouble coming up. I'm starting to sound a little like Tilly from Big City Greens.
Yeah.
Cricket?
Well, it
Say,
started
if you
out
would
really
listen to me, you wouldn't be spinning in terror.
Yeah, now it does sound. Well, you could go in and out of characters throughout the show if you like. Why not?
Anyway.
So it is Thanksgiving week, so we are thankful for all of you out there, right?
Yes, and
one
all the
thing.
people who keep us afloat.
Yeah.
Because it costs very little to produce our show.
We keep the budget low for now.
Yes, it's a very low budget show in case you couldn't tell.
Although, I'm not going to say what yet, but we have a sponsorship in the works.
What?
So.
No way.
Just saying.
Well, see there, we're moving up in the world. It only took us
5
years.
Whatever. Yeah. We're getting there.
It took us 5 years to get recognized.
So I'm thankful for that.
You're thankful, but thankful that we might actually have something in the works. Cool.
Yeah. And right. I'm thankful also there's a trip I have coming up this weekend. So I've been bouncing back and forth between resorts.
I was going to say, have you changed again?
I almost did. I haven't changed yet. I was thinking.
What did you almost change to?
Back to French Quarter. French
oh,
Quarter
really?
was available.
Why'd you almost change back? Just because you were thinking, oh, I haven't done this one yet. I want to.
I know. That's the thing. It's like
that's what's really getting you.
Yeah.
But then you think, I know that Grand Destino was so good.
I know. And I can just get in the elevator and go up to the Dahlia Lounge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nice. Very nice.
Decisions.
But it is also like $50 more a night or something like that. 45, 40, something like that. More a night.
Well, I see you are an annual pass holder, so.
Yeah.
I literally see you're an annual pass holder.
Oh, over there? Is that what you're talking about?
I see the magnet.
Thing, though.
I know, but it's still well. Okay, you're right. That's right, because I have one too, and I'm currently not. I never did renew.
Speaking of the annual pass holder, though, isn't there a magnet that they're mailing again? I thought there was a mini magnet that they're going to mail this time.
I don't know.
But
if they mail it to me, it'll be by mistake.
Well, they might still have you for getting the magnet. You never know if it's coming out soon.
Oh. Well, my pass officially expired, I guess, on October 7th. So.
Yeah. Well, you had up until like last week or 2 weeks ago to renew.
And it's still at the same price.
Yeah.
And now I'll be like, oh, sorry, you can't renew now.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, right. Yeah, they probably wouldn't. They'd be like, we won't sell you one at all. Although, you never know. You might could talk yourself into it, I bet.
They could talk me into the new price.
well, we're speaking of, that's a news story. I guess the annual price passes have gone up.
The annual pass prices of the annual passes they're not currently selling.
Yes, right. The unsellable I guess only the renewal would be more
It's
again.
like I can make it a gajillion bajillion dollars,
Right.
especially since I'm not selling it.
Of
Anyway,
course, Disneyland, I guess we should also mention, sold Magic Keys for like a
a
day.
day, yeah, or less
And
than a day, less than 24
right.
hours, I think.
Yeah. And then they sold out again. Or whatever number they sold.
Yeah, and then they suspended the sale of all of them. Well, they were sold out of one, right, and then they
Yeah.
went down to the
The
next level.
highest tier was still
Yeah, I
available.
think Inspire was still available.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's the $1,600 Inspire key was the one still available.
Right. Which makes sense that would be the last one to
The last to
sell
go.
out again. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is why
Crazy.
we can't have anything for a decent price because every time it goes on sale, it sells out at whatever price they're doing. I think Disney's doing
Right.
this strategy on purpose. I think they're taking stuff, they're making it seem like it's never going to happen again, so they create the demand,
So,
and then
right. So,
they
yeah. The annual passes went into the Disney Vault. That's
pretty
basically the
much, yeah, that's
strategy
what
they're
happens
using.
nowadays.
Annual passes are coming out of the Disney Vault for a limited time.
Think about it. They do the same thing with merchandise, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, for a limited time, you can buy this. There's
Yeah.
only so
Like,
many of these, so they're guaranteed to sell it out.
yeah. That indie merch that I wanted that
Yeah,
Jason didn't get for me.
yeah,
Um,
it's gone.
it you can't buy it online anymore, and the only places you can get it like one shop at Hollywood Studios, and he was gonna get it for me last week when he was there, but it was broken. Like they opened the box and look at it, and it was like broken in half.
Which one was it
So
you were getting or wanted?
the headpiece to the staff of Ra.
Ah,
It's already burned on my hand, but
you need the
I need
your
the
your
other side.
your staff will be too big with the one that's burned
Yeah,
on your hand.
right.
You need a staff that's just the right size.
Yeah, I need to take back one kadam height. Anyway, but yeah, that, like merch is comes and goes, and you never see it again. It's like, but you only had it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway,
Well, right quick, the recording of this is taking place on a very important birthday.
correct.
Also, one day after an even more important
Yeah,
birthday.
Life Day. It was after.
Oh,
If you're a Wookiee, it's a very important day.
I guess I'm a Wookiee then.
Yeah, you're part Wookiee, maybe.
I'm part Wookiee. Could be.
Yeah. So yes, your Life Day
Yes,
was yesterday. So happy
my
Life Day.
that's right. My life day was yesterday, 44 years ago. So
This was also this ironically the same year that the holiday special came out, right? Wasn't it
was it
78?
78? Oh, okay, maybe
Yeah.
it was. Was it
So
the
you
same
were
like was it the same actual like day? Was it released on my day birthday?
yeah. So you and the holiday special have that in common.
Oh wow.
So maybe like your mom watched the holiday special in the hospital with you and you saw it when you were born.
Well, I know that the day after I was born, Jim Jones got his followers to drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh
So
right, yes. So that was today, Mickey's birthday also.
yes.
Is that
Yeah,
same
but
day? Wow.
it literally happened the day after I was born though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot happened in these in history
Right around this
around
time.
this time. A lot
Yeah.
has happened. Huh.
So, by the way, I know you said happy birthday to Mickey, but it's also Minnie, and I guess it's also
Yes.
Pete and Pluto because they're also in Steamboat Willie,
Is
right?
Pluto in?
I think so.
Yeah, I know
I
Pete
know Pete
is. I'm
is.
trying.
I'm pretty sure Pluto was. Yeah, wasn't Pluto in that?
I don't
It's been a while
remember.
since I've seen Steamboat Willie. I could have swore he was. In dog years, though, he's like really old.
Yeah, he's really surpassed Mickey. According to this, Pluto, his first cartoon was 1930 called The Picnic.
Oh,
No, The
so he
Chain
wasn't
Gang.
in that.
The Chain Gang?
Oh, the
Wow.
Chain Gang.
That was
Okay,
so
so he
he was
wasn't
not
in
in
Steamboat
Steamboat
Willie.
Willie, I guess.
So it was
But
just Mickey, Minnie, and Pete.
yeah, 2 years later, Pluto made his first appearance. So there you have it.
I guess that was the only three in there. I could have swore Pluto was in it. Oh well,
There's other animals. I don't think Pluto's one of them.
none that got a named.
Yeah, probably not. But Pete, of course, is same age, I guess. Makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah.
Pete. He's just misunderstood nowadays, by the way.
Yes, he's not evil. He's just yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
But
continue.
annual pass holders, there's a frozen cinnamon flavored Coke, like a frozen Coke slushy thing, but it's cinnamon Coke
That
at
sounds kind of
Epcot
disgusting, actually.
at the refreshment outpost. And that's going to be just during Festival of the Holidays. So I'm like, maybe I'll try that. But it comes
It's
in
in
a
kind of a
souvenir.
classic looking glass, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
like a classic style, isn't it?
I'm sure it's plastic, but yes, it
Oh
it
well,
comes in like
you
a.
sure it's plastic?
I'm pretty sure if they're gonna
I just was thinking, looking
give
at
these
that.
out,
I go,
yeah,
yeah, probably.
it's gonna be yeah.
Yeah, good point. I just got to thinking. I want to say there were some glasses that we had that was from way back in the day that looked similar to that. Matter of fact, there were some kind of like collector Muppets glasses. Now that I think about it, that was that.
Oh, really? I
Yeah, I
remember the
think there were.
McDonald's ones. Is that what you're referring to, or are you talking about before that?
Now the McDonald's ones were the 25-year glasses.
And
That's
then they
ones I
did some
remember.
again after that, didn't they?
They may have done some later. Yeah, I'm not sure. The 25-year ones was the one that we had.
Right. But then Animal Kingdom came along, so they had to have done them again, right? Because
Animal Kingdom
that
came along
was.
like the next year
Did they have that
or 2
still as
years
the?
later,
Huh.
technically.
I thought they came out with some newer ones. Anyway,
I'm trying to think. No,
that
when
was
would the 25th celebration started in October of '96, and I'm assuming it was 18 months like the rest, so it went through just
yeah,
in time for Animal Kingdom to
just before.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
because Animal Kingdom was open on April the 22nd, 1998.
Earth Day.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I'm
lots
pretty sure they
of
did that on purpose.
Earth Day, Life Day. It would make
Every
sense.
day, everything has a holiday, like it's made up days.
Everything's got to have their own day. That makes sense.
Sure, because days is just boring to have just a day.
Right.
Anyway,
Here's another story. There's going to be 2 shows of Fantasmic every night on most days through early 2023. So
really,
maybe, I mean, it makes sense. It's like they're packed out every night. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go do this or not.
you might as well.
I don't want to have to do like so. Jason is not here, obviously, but he was there last weekend, and he went and did Fantasmic, and we kind of watched as he was streaming it,
Yeah, we
and
kind of watched while we were screwing around
well,
with
okay,
the different little features
I'd
on
say
the what was
clarify
it?
that statement.
Yeah,
Clarify that
well, it was the different features on the what was it, the live and the messenger,
chat.
whatever it
Yeah,
was.
the messenger
Yeah.
chat. Yeah, there was like filters and stuff we were messing around with. But he went and did the pass holder exclusive one last weekend, which kind of came out of nowhere and was still sold out. But he had to wait in line for 25 minutes or so just to get the band or the ticket, or not ticket, wristband. What do they have?
Yeah, it was some sort of wristband.
Yeah. So, but the show was great. I mean, I would go see it. I'm not sure I want to kind of wait in line though. I don't know. But it says November 17th through December 3rd. It'll be 7:30 p.m. as well as another one at 9, and then December 5th through the 25th, 7:30 and 9. I don't know why the 4th is different. December 4th is looks like just one. I don't know why. And then December 26th through January 7th, an 8 p.m. and a 9:30 p.m. show. So I don't know why the hour or the half hour difference there, but anyway.
Holidays, staying open a little later.
Oh, I guess if the park's open a little later, yeah, they just shifted it a little bit later. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. So, 2 shows. I'm not sure if I might try to watch it. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to wait in line. That's the only thing. So, we'll see.
And that right there is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe.
Why?
Do you don't know that line either?
No, where's that quote?
That's actually not from anything Disney or anything like that. It's from Beetlejuice.
Yeah, see, it's old. Man, I haven't seen stuff
I have
like
a lot
that
of
in a
old
long
movie
time.
references.
Yeah,
So do we.
you're older than me, so you have a lot of old
Oh
ones.
God.
I mean, you are a lot older,
Yeah.
significantly.
I said you
No.
watched a lot of the same movies, thanks
Yes,
to
we
us
did. That's true.
influencing you.
Yeah.
Because Indy was before your time, technically, in a lot
Yes,
of ways.
it was. Well, speaking of people showing up, I don't know where that was, but the
Where did that come
Man,
in?
I don't know. Mando and Grogu have shown up at
Oh, well, you
Galaxy's
should have said,
Edge
like, speaking of Lucasfilm. No, sure.
in Disneyland, I should say. Oh, that was the connection. I wasn't thinking. But Disneyland only, Mando and Grogu are out and about.
It's almost like
It
this is the
looks cool.
testing phase.
Isn't his armor, though, like the season 1 kind of armor?
Possibly.
Because he's not as
What is it
silver.
called? What is it called?
Beskar.
Beskar, yeah.
It's not as full as the. I think even one of his pads is not Beskar. So, yeah, this is season 1 Mando, I guess.
Why not?
Costume. So does that fit in the time frame? I mean, not quite, because Mando was like
No.
way way behind, I guess.
Mando was in between episode
Jedi.
3 and. I mean, not episode 3. Yeah.
You're talking
In
about Andor.
between. It's in between Jedi and.
Episode
Was it Rogue One?
6 and. No, Rogue One.
Oh, wait a
You
minute.
mean
I mean, not Rogue
Force
One.
Awakens?
Excuse me. Yeah, Force Awakens, Rogue One. What I was thinking.
It was like 5 years after Return of the Jedi, right?
It can't be Rogue One. Yeah, they're
So
building the
what?
Death Star again.
So they don't care about the timeline, obviously, but yet they do have Mando in his season 1 suit. So I don't know. We've gone back in time. So Kylo Ren is still out and about, but yet Mando is, and it's like, this doesn't make sense,
That's because they've having to abandon all the stuff like we said they would.
right? And that makes sense because they finally
Only
get
took
the
them
hint.
3 years.
Yeah, the hint is the sequel trilogy is not what they should have done. They should have left that alone, and so now they're slowly getting away from it.
Gosh, yeah, it's like nobody talks about the sequel trilogy. Like nobody.
Yeah, nobody anymore. Yeah, it's just not. Well, they know they screwed it up, but we'll get to more Star Wars stuff later. What do you think about the story about Disney acquiring another cruise ship?
Yeah, I saw that was interesting. I didn't really look at the details of it yet, other than it was a German one.
Yeah, that was partially completed
Right.
construction already.
So they figured, you know what? To
Take
try
it
and get ahead
over.
of things, we're going to get a ship that's already halfway there.
So is this because they announced several years ago 3 new ships, right? Was it 3?
They
Back when-
did.
And so
this now they're, instead of having to build a whole new one, they're going to be like, you know what? We're going to speed things up. We're going to get one that's already starting.
right, and this looks
And we'll-
very different, of course. than
Oh
the
yeah,
others.
and it will definitely be huge-ish.
Huge-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, this one looks much more like a Carnival or Royal Caribbean type look
Yeah.
to it.
It's like an huge-ish and gone. Why is it gone?
Yeah. Why is the rum gone? So it says, yeah, it's a big ship. So capacity is more like 6,000, it says,
Yeah. Yep.
which is way bigger than their current fleet.
208,000 gross tons.
Ooh, what about nice tons? But in gross tons, it's in, what about clean tons?
Not gross.
Yeah,
Pleasing to the eye tons. No.
net tons. Yeah, anyway.
Let's see. It'll be interesting to see what they do with all the space that they're going to have.
Explore
On
the
the ship.
space.
Exactly.
That's what they should do.
They're going to explore the
Really?
space.
Really, explore the space.
So yeah, the design already looks. I mean, they're trying to keep it as Disney as the other
Yeah.
ships, as far as the paint and everything. But
Right. Yeah,
This
it's
is
got
gonna be
3
different.
smokestacks.
yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. which I'm sure only one of them will be functional. Well, maybe two of them will have to be with this size ship. Who knows?
Yeah. Big.
But the way they've been doing it is only one of the smokestacks is an actual smokestack on
Yeah.
the current ships. So,
Looks much taller.
matter of fact, the others are they have spaces where guests can go on 2 of the 5 total, right, that they currently have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have space in there to do it on the Wonder and the Magic. I know the Fantasy and the Dream do because I've been in there. I've been in those funnels. And of course, we know that the Wish has the Tower Suite. I think it is inside one of those inside that funnel. So
nice, yeah, for a hefty fee.
For a hefty fee.
But this one, yeah, a lot more rooms, so it'll be interesting. Bigger ship. What all are they going to have on there that might be different? But it will set sail in 2025, so there's something to look forward to.
It's such a pretty boat. Ship.
So here's another positive story. I keep going with the good stuff here. The Walt Dreamer statue from the D23 arrives at Walt Disney World ahead of schedule. It's
actually becoming a reality.
Yeah. There you have it. So Walt has made his way back to Florida after
where has he been
dying in 1966.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him? Like, was he just buried, or was he cremated? Or
yeah, he died.
Well, I know that, but I mean,
no, I believe he was cremated because his gravesite at the in Hollywood or wherever, I forgot where exactly it is it's like a cremation. What do you call it? Just a plaque on a wall, essentially.
Okay. Or is that just a rouge?
Yeah. The rumor is also that his head is frozen somewhere.
Right. Really, really running things behind the scenes. Well, if so, he's changed a lot over the years because the direction that the parks were in definitely changed that we're going.
So, how many people are going to be in line to take a selfie with Walt?
Oh, it's going to be a popular spot when it's all said and done.
For sure. People are going to rope drop the Dreamer statue.
It's going to require. They're going to probably put it on as a lightning lane. Yeah, an individual lightning lane to go see the Walt statue
for a photo pass with Walt. Yeah, probably.
It might come to that.
I bet it will be a photo pass spot. That's probably what they'll do for a while. I mean, just to make more money off of it for those who didn't fork over the extra money for photo pass. You can buy this one-time picture for $38. But anyway, sorry, I was getting negative. Don't get negative. Don't get negative. Don't get negative. Stay positive.
I'll get negative.
I'm going to try to stay positive.
Mm-hmm. I make no promises.
Okay. It will be right behind Spaceship Earth whenever it does open. So
we're simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Is that his story? Because they did film the Christmas special stuff this week or this last week as you're listening to this. So that happened.
Well, I was just, singing
Paul McCartney.
But I mean, that's also what's featured in the minis. What's it called again?
The fireworks?
Fireworks show. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say Christmas time. Guardians, because I haven't heard. I thought you heard the playlist for that.
No.
That would have been cool.
Unfortunately not. But that, would that really be a good one to blast off to? I think
it would be. Maybe not to blast off to, but it's a mix, right, of several songs. It's only one new track. It's like, right? It's only going to be...
It's just going to be one track?
One track of a mix of songs.
Oh, well.
That's what I've heard.
That's not as fun.
Yeah.
They need to, for the future, they need to come up with, a Christmas, list of songs that they can use. Like rock-inspired Christmas songs.
Right. Yeah. Why does Aerosmith have a Christmas album?
No. That is one of the things they never did. I don't think they're going to get them to record one at this point either.
Yeah, probably not. Oh well. If they had a Christmas album, that would have been perfect for a rock and roller
Yeah.
coaster overlay. Well, this is a semi-negative story. Moving on
Aha.
to I guess I can't really make a positive spin on this one, but the idiot guests are at it again, and someone climbed out of their car on Spaceship Earth and sat with the was it with the
With
Greeks?
Elsa. Oh, wait, no.
What?
At first, that's what it kind of reminded me. I was like, what is this of? Is that
Yeah.
Elsa? And I was like, oh, no, this is the Spaceship Earth incident.
Did you see on Twitter though when I think it was WDWNT or somebody posted it on Twitter? Uh, People were commenting, "Is this like hoot or whatever?" But and then he
Yeah.
commented
Oh, my
on the
goodness.
tweet. He was like,
No.
"He's like, I stopped doing that a long time ago or something like that."
Yeah. He's like,
That's basically
yeah.
what he said.
What they don't realize is that's
He said,
also
"I'm too
around
old
the
for this."
time period when they worked
Hmm.
for Disney.
Right. So you could
So
do this like after hours, or well, in case of Horizons, they knew there was no the security system there was not as sophisticated as the
I
other
don't think
rides.
I'm gonna say I don't think any of the rides really have that at the time, or they may have added them later,
Right.
but I don't think any of the
Perhaps.
rides really had that at the time.
I guess they never expected guests to do this, but of course today people will do anything.
Right.
So
Well, I guess they figured if guests were going to do something like that, they would still get caught because other guests would be reporting it, for
yeah,
instance. Which
at
is
this day
another
and age,
reason why Hoot and Chief tried to create the what was it, the gap,
yeah,
or we're
right.
looking for.
So they'd have
So
enough space to
yeah,
get
between
in and out.
exactly.
Which obviously, it looked like the ride had stopped, which no surprise. And then this person just decided to get out and sit there for a minute and get back in. Hopefully,
I
they
do.
found them and banned them permanently.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that part of the story. It
I bet
hasn't
it
made it.
happened though.
Disney tried to keep it quiet one way or the other.
Is that too harsh though of a punishment for somebody to do this? Like
Well, here's
jump
the
out of a
thing.
ride and that kind of thing.
Based on the video, if that's all that's out there, could they have been identified? I mean,
She had on like these Mickey ears, and it was pretty easy to spot. Good question though. If nobody reported it as she was walking off it looked like the she was walking off the ride. If nobody reported it, she could have gotten away with it. But at this point, they probably could track the person down.
it's possible.
Anyway, so that was my semi-negative story for the day.
No, I'm sure there'll be another one here in a minute.
Okay. What else we got?
If you want to talk about annual passes at Disney World,
Disney World?
yeah,
Oh, the price went up. I didn't talk about that yet,
yeah,
did I?
we mentioned that it did, but we didn't talk about how
How
much.
much? Yeah, it was like $100. Let me find the story. It was about $100 more, wasn't it?
It
Let's
was
see.
yes, it's the Incredipass, the only one that anybody
There it
not
is.
living in the state of Florida can get. It went from $12.99 to $13.99.
Yeah, that's right. And then basically they all went up roughly $100 or ish. The Sorcerer only went up from $8.99 to $9.69, so like $70. Pirate Pass. I had forgotten the names of these because so
There
the
was no
Pirate
reason,
Pass.
right? Because they
Yeah,
renamed all this stuff and then they sold them for like a week.
yeah. $6.99. It went up to $7.49. So my guess though is if these are only available for the renewal, you would still get the discount 15%. So you would still be paying
15% off the current or off the new price,
right. It'll be the new price.
except for you already renewed, so
Yeah,
you got
except my
15%
son.
off the $12.99.
Yeah, so you'd probably still be paying. I mean, you'd be paying less than the 13.99, but it would still be more obviously because they went up $100 on that
They were
one. But
probably waiting to see how many people would renew whenever this last one,
yeah,
like a lot, like they just like
$1,400.
the
God,
ones that they sold when they first opened it up last year
yeah,
expired just recently started expiring.
right. Yeah, let's
So
see if anyone's gonna renew.
See how
These
many.
prices don't take effect though until December 8th. So if you're in your renewal window, I guess it would make sense to go ahead and renew and save $100 or $70
Yeah.
or $50.
And
So
why December 8th?
I don't know.
Does that mean they're going to start doing annual passes again?
Well, it's the rumor though is that it would be 2023 before they
Yeah.
did, right? So
Yeah. It is. The rumor is, but I don't know. It's as up in the air as Auburn's next head coach. So
sure. This story too about Disney World released more information about this affordable housing project that they have going on.
affordable
80,
housing,
yeah,
by
80
whose
acres.
standards?
Right. Affordable by Disney. It's Golden Oak. Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, somebody might say Golden Oak's affordable.
Right.
Like for who?
For like 50 people on the planet. Earlier this year, they did announce this project, but there's some more details about it. So it's on State Road 429. Oh, 429. So it's not far. What is affordable though? They haven't talked about pricing yet, but
Of course not.
huh. So is
Affordable is
this
in the hand of the payer, I
yeah,
guess. I don't know.
right. Yeah, the buyer. Is this Celebration 2.0?
It
Basically?
could be.
No.
Everything is 2.0 nowadays.
How expensive is Celebration now to buy in? If you could find a place
I
available.
don't know. I'll have to ask the people that bought it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when we were
Also,
talking about the annual pass tickets, we forgot about the regular day tickets. They've gone up too,
oh
or
yeah.
going up too.
Well, what are they now?
Well, yeah, like it says, they're announced the implementation of park specific pricing on single day tickets. So they
Hmm.
divided it up based on park. Obviously, the cheapest is Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
anywhere from a 109 to a 159.
Yep.
Hollywood Studios, anywhere from 124 to 179.
Wow.
Epcot, 114 to 179. And Magic Kingdom, of course, is the highest here at 124 to 189.
Yeah.
Found it interesting that the minimum is the same for both Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and the maximum is the same for Epcot and Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom being the most expensive. I just wonder what the reasoning is there.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't
Just
quite
had
get
to make
that.
$10 more on Magic Kingdom. I
I know, but
guess.
why is the starting point the same for Magic Kingdom and the studios, but yet
Right.
the high end becomes the same for Epcot and Hollywood Studios?
Who knows?
I mean, I don't
Who
get
comes
that.
up with this? I have no idea.
I guess they
Why?
figured the low end day they had to keep it low at Epcot because it's like still got a lot of things going on
Yeah.
construction wise at the
Capacity too.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, capacity, it's still got a ton of capacity.
right.
Epcot's always got capacity. I mean,
That's what I meant. I mean, it's got a ton
yeah,
of capacity.
yeah.
So you can get more people in at a lower price.
Maybe that's it.
But yeah, it won't be long before we break the $200 ceiling of a daily ticket, right? We're
Is
right
it a
on this.
ceiling?
Well, I mean,
I think the sky's the limit when it comes to
yeah,
the pricing.
right. Well,
So,
it's going to hit 200 soon, right? It won't be
yeah.
long. Next year, maybe.
I was gonna say, and if it's called a ceiling, then it's about like the ceiling that's on the budget.
Yeah.
So
It's like that scene
it's
in
pretty much
Willy
it's an
Willy
imaginary
Wonka.
ceiling.
Yeah. It just blow through it.
It's like we just continue to raise the ceiling instead of grabbing a shovel. Anyway,
Right. Dig a hole and crawl in.
is that another Mr. Game Show reference?
I think it is. Here's a positive story, though. Toontown is opening, what was it, March 3rd? No, March 8th, 2023. March 8th.
Okay.
Out in Disneyland. It's reopening, I should say.
Yes, I was gonna say it's not opening. They're not opening a Toontown in Disney World.
Right. But that's not when Runaway Railway's opening, right? Because they're not ready for that yet, are they?
I don't really know.
At the El Capitan Theater. I don't
They'll
think it's ready by then.
let's see. Well, is March the just like the target date for all Runaway Railway openings?
Yeah.
Because it was March 1st, wasn't it? Whenever it
Right, it
was
was
March 1st,
early.
2020, and then
Right.
it closed like 2 weeks later.
Yep, for like
Everything.
3 months, yeah. Awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't think it's opening yet. I don't think it's ready for another year or two, but it will be there. But the rest of Toontown will reopen. Speaking of runaway trains, they are testing the railroad at Magic Kingdom. A lot of people are happy about that you can actually see it running, and they have a lot of cast members out who will be running this attraction when it does reopen. So it was cool to see it back in the Main Street station. It was cool to see it backing up around Tron. I guess they're testing the tunnel to make sure it's all clear and not hitting anything or causing any issues, right?
Exactly. I guess that's what they're having to work
Yeah,
test, whatever.
that's why they're over there. But it's cool to hear it, the whistle and everything in the park. So it's fun to see it back. No date, of course, yet. When do you think it'll reopen?
I think it's already surpassed all of our original predictions back in the day.
Gosh, we thought Tron would be open by now or close to now.
Yeah, we totally overestimated the stuff that they were going to be doing with that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't think it's going to make it before the year's out now. Since the year's almost out.
I would say very shortly before Tron opens, so maybe like March or something, I'm guessing.
Actually, I'm starting to say a springtime opening for that as well. That's what I'm starting to think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Let's just say spring breakish.
Yeah. I mean, technically it could open as soon as the track is available to, around the whole it's done, which it might be or close to. But also
So February at the earliest?
Right, but do they want you to be going through the construction site of Tron still for the next month or two,
I don't know.
So
By the time it gets to that, it's probably going to be enough of it's going to be done. It ain't going to matter.
Well, by the time you get to March, yeah, you could probably open it. But I'm saying now, if the track is complete, they could technically open it now. But they're probably going to wait until the construction is mostly done.
Yeah, but I don't think they're really that far from having it done to the point where they don't care what you see. I mean, you can see it from everywhere as it is.
Right. But it's more like you're kind of in the construction zone if you were.
I mean, if they were really that yeah, but if they're really that concerned about what you could see, you can see the same thing from the people mover. Yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's more or less the location of the train. Is it too close to a construction zone where it would be like permits or,
could be a hazard still?
Hazard, right?
Like a beam's going to fall on the train?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're constructing anything, you never know. Probably can't have it go through an active construction site, I would think.
There might be some laws against that.
Yeah, that was my point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, but it's nice to see it
OSHA
in the park.
I don't think they cover that part.
It's in the park, though. That's the nice thing. So let's say anything else. What else do you want to talk about? We didn't really hit the Christmas party last week.
No, no one went to the Christmas party.
No, but we saw some stuff. I mean, about it.
Yeah, we saw that it rained again.
Big shot.
Whenever it first started, the first one rained on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Christmas party. I have a tendency to lean toward liking that one a little better than the Halloween party lately. From what I see. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I like that it's back in its full glory.
Yeah, so. Well, I think they did a lot last year, if I'm not mistaken, compared to the
They
Halloween
did
party.
more, but it still wasn't the party. I mean, it wasn't the same.
Right.
And this is back to the old. And good luck getting a ticket because it's like pretty much sold out completely at this point. So
Yeah.
there's like 2 dates open, I think, maybe. I don't
No
even
matter
know if
what they
that's
do
true.
pricing wise for the parties, they still sell out. So
Yep. And they know that. And it's like, well, it's not going to ever stop anything.
I need
So,
your money.
yeah. Did you see the old ESPN club is going to be replaced with yet another bakery right next to the bakery?
What?
Does that make sense? The cake and
Unless they're
bake?
just moving the bakery, maybe.
I was wondering that. Why
Like
would
are
they
they
do that?
like when this one opens, are they going to close the other one?
This one is obviously going to be bigger.
So it's going to be no contest.
The outside looks like a Panera bread. Is that what they're going to open? It's basically a Panera bread?
Maybe they've gotten a deal with Panera.
Maybe.
Maybe they
Because, I
got a deal
mean,
with Cinnabon.
ew, that's technically a bakery. Because you can get pastries, bread, soup, sandwiches. So there you go. Maybe that's what they're going to do. The Cake Bake Shop. It says restaurant as well.
Ah. So it'd be kind of almost like a cheesecake factory type deal.
It could be. Yeah.
Types or along those lines. You know what I mean? They're known for their dessert,
Right.
but we're going to also serve food.
Yeah. So
I
except it would
mean,
be
you know
cakes
what I
instead
mean?
of cheesecake.
Non-sweets. I said food. We're still going to serve food like cakes and food, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like regular meals, I guess.
That's a really large space to be just a bakery. So,
Well, I guess they were thinking along the lines of how it had, a kitchen already. So,
right.
we're going to use it for something like that. What was the reason for closing down the ESPN club anyway? Was it
I
just not that
guess
popular anymore?
ESPN kept losing money. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Was that
they
it?
own the brand. It ain't like it cost them anything to put that name on there.
That was the whole reason why ESPN was losing money was that
Right, I'm
restaurant.
sure.
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe it just wasn't that good. I mean, I never went there because I never had a desire to.
Hmm.
There's way better choices on the boardwalk. But let's see. Did you see this story too? That Disney's been playing around with the price of Genie Plus again. So now $17 is the price point. They've done 19 recently, 17, 15. So they're playing around with different price points, I guess, just to see what people will still buy and how many people buy it at this price point versus that price point.
You have to rub the lamp to see what the price is going to be. Like,
Yeah. I fully expect by the day I go it's going to be 22, if not higher,
it's going to be
testing
one
at
of
a
the
higher
more
price.
expensive days.
Yeah. I'm guessing, especially for, well, it's not per
So
part, but
check this out then. So you're going to, if you're, let's just say you're a day guest, so you're going to end up paying, that, what was it, the family of five from Denver or whatever
yeah,
it was?
right.
A family of five from Denver. Let's just,
189 if you're
yeah.
paying the peak price for Magic Kingdom,
So
and then Genie
where's my,
Plus on top of that.
yeah,
For a family
where's
of
my
four, it's like another 100.
calculator here? Let's just do a rough estimate here. All right, so let's just say it's gonna be the higher price range. So just to be fair, let's just do 179.
Yeah,
We'll say that. So that's 895 there. And then what was the highest range of Genie Plus? 25?
22 so far.
22 so far. It's 110.
You're going to
So
110.
yes. And that's before tax, of course. So we got to include that. So we're already talking an extra for one day.
Yeah, one.
We're talking $1,005 for one
Yikes.
day at Magic Kingdom and getting Disney Genie Plus.
Yikes. Yeah.
That is one day. That is like, I'll give you an example. My brother's renting points to stay 6 nights at the
Yeah.
Poly, and they've already paid for it, and it's like $2,600.
I thought it was
So
Grand
you're,
Floridian. No.
or I mean, yeah, Grand Floridian. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not the Poly. Yeah, Grand
But
Floridian.
still,
It's like $2,600, right?
right, for 6
Okay,
nights, right?
right here, one day, 1,005, or almost half of that, half of what it took to stay at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it was still a good deal for what they got,
Right.
but
Got a good
it's
price.
still if you break it down, it's still almost $400 a night.
Yeah.
It's 385 or whatever.
That's why I've kept the pass so far. Is if I go, I can still make the price work for me.
It's
But
insanity.
whew, yeah, the ticket prices are crazy. Ugh. Anyway, okay. Positive story. There's a limited time holiday sound effect for the golden statue characters. I guess from the 25th maybe to the end of the year. There'll be a holiday sound effect for the statues. So
Yeah,
I guess
probably
that's
until after when they start taking the rest of the decorations down,
yeah,
I
for
guess.
the 50th.
Yeah.
So what happens after the 50th is over and these statues go away? I assume they're going to go away. What is the Magic Band Plus besides watching the nighttime shows? What is the point?
I don't
Are
think
they
are
gonna
the statues going to go away, or they're just going to take the 50th emblem off probably.
maybe right? Just leave the statues so that
Yeah,
they have
something like
something to
that.
interact with.
Yeah.
Good point. I don't know.
Well,
Boy,
I mean,
that
they
was a
sold all
cheap
these
thing.
bands. Are they going to, these bands were are they just going to work for a few months basically? They just recently sold them all.
Yeah,
Surely they're going to have to interact with something.
right. They'll bring out some new stuff. I'm just saying it is kind of weird to be so little to do right now.
Yeah. And you're going to get to hear whatever the holiday remix is. Are you going to make
Yeah,
it a goal to
which
go there first so you can be there on day
yeah,
1?
yes, we're going to Epcot on that day. We had booked this before they they said that the holiday mix was going to happen that day, so I'm probably
Not
going to have to buy an individual
not to
lightning
twist
lane
your arm
so
or anything.
I don't have to pay so much. I mean, wait so much with the boarding group, but anyway, why don't we wrap up this show by talking about Andor a little bit? So, for the Star Wars
All right,
nerds out
Andor.
there,
You might
I
remember more of this than I do because I've been watching it ever since the last like 11 weeks or whatever it is.
right. So, what was the news story about this show right now? Is that it's a little bit like the viewership is not what Disney wanted for the this on Disney Plus. Is that the
For some reason,
story?
the attention to it has not been
Hi.
as great. I feel like it's one of those things that if people gave it a chance, though, that they would really like it. It's very good. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
the Star Wars fans really seem to like it.
Hmm.
From everybody I've talked to,
Dare I
there.
say better than the Mandalorian?
Oh, so I don't know if I would go that far. It's hard to say. Like the first couple of seasons of Mandalorian were so good, and then this show is much slower pace, which is good. It's a longer, like 12 episodes, so it's much longer than Mandalorian has been.
Hmm.
But so it has been a little slower, but I've kind of liked it, even though I will say I'm kind of catching up, so I was watching it binging it a little bit. Not like I didn't watch all. I'm not all the way caught up yet either, but I
You're almost
wasn't. I'm getting close, but I wasn't like. It was a little hard to follow for me in the beginning. Like the first few episodes, I was just like, "What? What are they setting up here? What are they talking about?" Like, but it's starting to make sense as I continue going on. Like, okay, they how the story progressed from the very first episode to where I'm at now. It
there.
it's evolved a lot and a lot has happened. I thought the setup to that first kind of heist, I guess you would call it, or thing that they did to get a bunch of credits. Was that
Yes.
spoiler? Too spoilery? I shouldn't.
Not at this point. I would hope anybody that's seen it.
Right.
I mean, anybody that hasn't watched up to this point, they deserve to have it spoiled.
Yeah. So there's kind
Well,
of
never
like the
mind. You just got finished, so
first half of the season, and then it seems like the second half has kind of moved into a different direction. So I don't know. I've liked it so far. What do you think?
what's funny at the end of episode 10, it actually leaves you wondering if it was like, wait a minute, is this the last one? Or at least that's what it made me wonder.
Oh, like a
Even though
cliffhanger?
there's 2 more episodes, like it could have been like they could have just left you hanging with that, yeah, like and it would have been the end of this.
Right.
But of course, there's 2 more episodes after that, which as of the time of the recording of this coming Wednesday,
Yeah.
well, it'll be the show will be out before Wednesday, but so this coming Wednesday is the final episode of this season.
Yeah.
Because it's I don't know, it looks like it's going to go at least another season. So
Yeah, I'm like, that was the thing, is a lot of these seem to be one-off miniseries.
yeah, and this isn't going to be, according to this.
Yeah. So that's
they
the
don't
thing,
plan
is
for
like,
it to be.
right. I hope they make another season of this, because the stories of kind of how the rebellion gets formed is actually kind of interesting. And I do wonder, would we get like a kind of cameo from, say, Vader and Emperor if we get a second
At some
season? I
point.
would say, yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, it's good
And
having these character stories that are like going on while all these other main characters are still doing things. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
It's kind of nice having, or kind of cool seeing the side story and see how they somewhat link together.
right,
What do you think of? They did a pretty good job getting someone to play Mon Mothma, right?
yeah, yeah. I thought she was very good, and yeah, the character looks a lot like the one we see in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
So, and it's cool to kind of see her backstory of how she ended up with the rebellion.
yeah. How she was a
Senator.
well-to-do that was really working in the background, so to speak,
Yeah.
funding the rebellion.
Which I know in A New Hope, one of the lines when Vader, right before Vader does the "I find your lack of faith disturbing," was they talked about fully dissolving the Senate. So it's like there's no more. So that literally just happened. Like,
It hasn't happened yet at this point.
right, obviously, but it happens like basically right at the end of Rogue One. So that time frame, like right at the beginning of New Hope, is when they finally dissolved the Senate. So we know the end result is the Emperor just sort of takes over everything. But I guess it took him a while. He had to slowly, as they called it, overreach his
Yeah.
his power until he was finally, the only one calling the shots, so to speak. So it's interesting to kind of see that where it's headed, but that there's still a galactic senate at the moment. So
Yeah,
it's
and
kind of
but
interesting,
he's still referred to as emperor, right?
right? Yeah, which he took over at the end of, what's the movie?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, episode 3.
Yeah.
You know what was funny? Somebody pointed this out, and I don't know if this was like George Lucas being genius, but there was, that scene in Return of the Jedi when Darth Vader and Luke are fighting, and Luke like kicks him down the stairs,
Yeah.
and then Vader gets up and says, "Obi-Wan has taught you well." That Luke has the high ground.
Yeah.
So is that what he was talking about? Like,
That's what
or
we've said before. We said about that before.
is that
Oh,
just a
yeah.
weird coincidence though from Return
Yeah,
of the Jedi?
I think it's a weird coincidence at this point. Yeah,
But it is kind of cool that it's like,
It is
oh,
that he
you
has
have
the
the
high
high
ground.
ground. Obi-Wan taught you well.
Apparently, Vader just can't win because people keep getting the high ground on him.
Right. So he didn't try to like jump over him over the stairs. So he's like, I'm not trying that again. Luke would definitely cut my legs off. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Maybe it's a weird coincidence, but it's cool that it happened.
And he goes, ah, or whatever, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Earl Jones is going to forever be
Mufasa.
in Star Wars now, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. Now you watched some of going back to Andor. You watched some of like Clone Wars and stuff, right? I
Yeah,
haven't watched much of it. Are some of these planets from? Because
not
I've
that I
never heard of
remember.
most of these. I'm like, where do these
Yeah,
planets come from? All
not that
these.
I remember. I'm sure it's in the canon somewhere. But
Yeah, I'm sure the Star Wars, the really, really nerdy Star Wars folks, these are well established planets. But
right.
there was
Yes,
like Aldani. What was the? I'm blanking
Ferrex.
on Ferrex. Yeah, that's the one I
Yeah,
was trying to think of. And
that's
all
the main
these,
one. That's the main one they refer to in this series.
right? So anyway,
So
lots of planets.
let's see. Have you seen Saw Gerrera yet?
Yes, I have seen him.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
which is cool that they actually get these kind of big celebrities, Andy Serkis and um, Forrest Whitaker back as you know.
Yeah,
Although Andy Serkis is also, as I was saying, Snoke from the
yeah.
prequel sequel trilogy.
And as I told you, they have Bootstrap Bill
Right,
is
right.
gosh, what's his name again now?
I can't remember, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's the cool. I knew I recognized him. I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right. I didn't recognize him without the starfish on his face or whatever.
I can't think of his real name now. I know it's Dutch. I
Yeah,
know it when I see it.
yeah, but he's got a cool character that.
Yeah,
So
but
it's a
it's
good show.
yeah, but it's not Bootstrap. Bootstraps.
Luthen, right?
Yes, Luthen, of course, Luthen.
Luthen.
Yeah, that's his character's name.
Yeah,
I don't know. I must be. Like I said, I just had another birthday. Some of this stuff just it comes and goes when it comes to stuff like this. I don't find there's a lot of stuff I don't find important enough to remember anymore. I think is what
yeah.
it is.
I did see that Imperial droid, like the K2SO,
B
but it wasn't K2SO, right? I
it
mean,
was
the voice was
uh
different.
B. I think I just called him B, right?
Yeah, something like that. But I did see it, and it's like, oh, that's cool, little like Rogue One call back or whatever.
Somewhat.
But in the IMDb like credits, Alan Tudyk is listed as part of this series. So I'm curious if K2SO does show up at some point because, or did Alan Tudyk do the voice for B or whatever? But it didn't sound like him.
No, I don't think so. I got to thinking. I was like, at the beginning of Rogue One, where does he come into play? Is he already with Cassian, or who was he with? Maybe he was. Anyway, I was just thinking if that's the case, then him coming to be him getting reprogrammed, we'll say.
Yeah.
What if that was actually him that was,
Right.
that
That
captured
was
him?
very good. Yeah. Maybe that was him and he gets
He gets reprogrammed.
reprogrammed.
Yeah, he hasn't been
Basically
reprogrammed
the
yet.
droid that arrested him.
Yes.
So it becomes his friend later.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. Anyway, that means it's time to wrap it up this week.
Alrighty
So
then. It
where
is we got to
can
wrap it up because Christmas presents
yes,
are being wrapped now.
indeed. And,
Anyway.
and people need to take a nap from their turkey day as they're listening to this on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
If it's
all
still around.
at TWTM Podcast.
We're not certified. No.
Yes, we don't have the we don't have the what is it, the blue check mark or whatever.
Yeah. No blue check yet.
We have a Spreadshirt store where you can buy your exclusive TWTM merchandise. That is shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM podcast.
Black Friday deals too, by the way.
Oh,
Just
yes, of course. Yeah.
There will be.
Oh, and YouTube. And where do you find that, Adam?
Our website, there's a link to it there and more. There's also a link to our travel agent friend, Jill Dilbeck. Her email address is also jilldilbeck@gmail.com. And you can also email us from there, podcast@travelingwithamouse.com. And that's going to do it for this episode. So for John, my name is Adam. We hope you will join us on our next trip.
And my name is Earl.